everyone, welcome back to Motion RC, and if you're a boater, then this one is for you. We've got the RG65 Quickfire sailboat, and we are out at the same lake that you've seen us at, just at a different spot. This is Lake Ackworth. We got a gorgeous morning, about anywhere from 2 to 5 mile per hour winds, and an 8 mile per hour gust out of the east, which is coming from that way. And the goal of this video is to show you just how awesome this Quickfire does run on a day like today. The water behind me goes anywhere from glass to little ripples, but we just took it for a little test run and we're catching some nice grooves in there. So the purpose of this, we're gonna take it for a run, probably about 5 minutes, but really what we wanna do, if you've never been a sailor like I haven't, I wanna show this graphic. It's awesome to show you how the wind will react to your sailboat. So you can see here, you obviously do not want to sail directly into the wind, but you could catch a lot of speed at different angles of the wind, various to that. If you ever watch a boating race, you'll see they'll zigzag back and forth. So if you're trying to get into the wind, that's sort of what they do. And that's what we're gonna do today. So now as far as getting your boat ready to go, some things you wanna do before you put it in the water, obviously, you want to check all your rigging, make sure everything is nice and taut. So I, tighten down my mast, everything. I loosen everything when I store it because I don't want these nylon cords just being tugged on for no reason when I'm not sailing. But then when you come out here, it's good to check everything. So I had already ran it, but I turned it off. So first thing I'm gonna do is turn the transmitter back on. We got our transmitter on, and then with the Quickfire, you just peel back this little tape, put your finger in there, there's a switch, turn the switch on, and now we are good. And then what I will do, run the winch up, and then bring the winch back down. And now when I'm at the lowest throttle setting, that's when I'll check all these. That's what these rubber sliders are for. It's a great way to add a little bit more tension to your boom, and then also to your jib. You could slide this back and forth. Make sure everything is taut, because when I'm in that position, you don't want any real movement, too much movement, if you will, on your booms. And that only happens when you loosen up the winch. So now we are good to go. I could check my steering. So I've got high rates on. That's the way I like to ride it, high rate on the rudder. And that's basically it. So we're gonna pop her in the water, take her for a run. All right, guys, we got Alex across the lake on a different dock. He's looking back at me. So sorry, I'm gonna put the boat in the water quick. You won't hear me as well until I get back in position. There we go. So now, let's go. Right now the wind seems to have died a little bit, but just for reference, you see my sailboat out in front of my camera, and where Alex is, I am facing, that is southeast. So if you're looking at the main camera, Alex is exactly south. And the wind is coming out of the east, which on my camera, which will be to the left, or on Alex's camera, to the right. So right now, we're catching 0 wind, but let me couple in and let's see how we do. All right, there we go. Now we're starting to catch something. Wind's starting to come out. So this would be directly into the wind. And right now I have the throttle, if you will, or my winch all the way down. So nothing's really gonna happen. Even if I open up the sail, you can see the sail starts flapping and such. You really wanna get at that proper angle. So once I find the angle, you see how the wind catches the sailboat? Now I'm going at that close hauled, what they call it, where I'm trying to find my groove. There'd be a perfect point between the wind and your sail where she will just start motoring, and she could get some good speed too with that big sail in the proper direction. And that's basically what you're looking for. And it's a feeling, and it feels so good when you do actually catch it. But you see, I'm starting to catch the wind now, and then now that the wind is sort of coming, so now I'm gonna what's called a reach. I'm opening my sails, and now I'm about perpendicular, about 90 degrees to the wind, heading directly south towards Alex. And you can see that you start catching that wind, and she moves really nicely. And it's awesome when you do catch a big breeze, because that the whole mast and everything will almost be like, vertical or parallel to the water, which is just a cool sight. And I've definitely, when I lived in Boston back in the day, I used to see them. They used to do they used to race sailboats on the Charles River a lot. And I used to drive by and run by and see them just rocking and rolling. And the guys are working hard. But there we go. Now we're catching the wind. Again, I'm about at, I would say, a 1 o'clock position towards where the wind is coming. And it just feels so good when you catch it. I totally see, you know, boaters catching enjoyment. Now, one thing you see, like with sailing and, you know, reading about it, if you want to say, you know, you're trying to get to a position that's directly into the wind, you're not going to get there by just sailing directly into the wind. You will have to zigzag. So they take 45-degree angles, if you will, and just zigzag their way all the way to their, you know, to their destination. So here I'm heading back to myself. And being that I open up the throttle, the sails, when the wind catches it, will push it. It'll catch the wind in the right position. And now I'm heading all the way back to me at what seems to be a pretty darn good pace. And it's a matter of now balancing that throttle, balancing that winch servo. You know, if you think you could get more speed, maybe you open it up, or you want to tighten the tension on the sail to properly catch the wind. If your sail's too loose and you're in the wrong position, you're not going to open it up. And it all goes to that graphic that you see here. You know, the only time you're really going to be open sails is if I'm running. So if I go with the wind to my back and I open up my sails, you want to see if you'll catch. There we go. So now this is what would be considered running. So the wind is directly to my back. I've got the sails pretty much open, and then I bring them, I start bringing the tension down on my winch to get to the point where I think I'm catching more speed. Because even if your sail's too open, if it's loose, then the wind's just going to flop it around and it's not going to work. I'm going to spin back around. I'm going to bring in my tack, if you will. And then when you catch, this is where I really enjoy it. When you're in that close hull position, you know, going sort of upwind, and you get that breeze blowing. And now we're heading back to myself. But you can see, guys, anybody who's sailing or wants to get into an RC sailboat, there's a definite enjoyment here and a relaxation. I mean, I could totally see bringing a boat out, bringing my kids, and just sitting down and relaxing on the lake while they're playing on the beach or something, and just having some fun. And then obviously, RC's always more fun with friends, so you get a couple guys out there for a little regatta, and you guys have yourselves a lot of fun. You put a couple buoys out in your lake or in your pond, wherever you're gonna do it, and you race, and you see who, you know, who can catch the wind the best, the same way, you know, the professionals do it. But either way, she's a good looking boat. That big sail just, you know, catches the wind nicely. Right now, the wind is just, you know, sort of dying on us, but there's still more than enough to move it around as long as we're in that close hulled position, and she works really well. So here we go, I'm bringing her back towards me. But guys, I want to thank you all for watching this. All you boaters out there, let me know what I'm doing wrong, what I can do better in the comments of this video. But I hope the little bit that I do could show you that this boat is a fantastic option for all you sailors out there. There we go, now we're catching the wind really nice. But it's a fantastic option for all you sailors out there who want to get into this, or even a beginner. I mean, it doesn't take much to put this thing together, which is awesome. And then it's just a matter of you getting out there and learning how to sail and how to play with the wind. So again, any comments you have, leave them in the comments. Hit the like button if you like it. You could dislike it if you want to too. Doesn't bother us. It's up to you. But either way, guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time at Motion RC.